Evening. There you are over there. Right, listen, I have been since last whenever it was last Wednesday's. What did I do again? I can't remember what day it was. Anyway, I did a live stream doing the music. Now I've been playing about with this that there OBS, and yeah, I've been messing about with it for a couple of hours tonight, and I think I'm kind of there. The secret is you need to set up scenes. In each scene, you have a variety of sources enabled and disabled. Now, when I was running this before, I had everything on a single scene, and it just meant that I had way too many windows open and didn't have a bloody clue what I was doing. And trying to resize stuff. So big thanks to Mr. Colin Jones for some staunch support. Thanks, Colin. So yeah, hopefully this will go better. The only thing that, excuse me, I find a wee bit difficult to kind of judge is getting the sound balance right, because each individual application, emulator, whatever it is, it's all going to be different. So I've just got to kind of mess about with it. But hopefully we're kind of there. So anyway, yep, you've seen the title. This video tonight, I have gone back to my very, very, very early games. The games that I got probably in the first month of getting my Commodore 64. I mean, I'm looking down the list here. I've got about, I don't know, probably about 20 games. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play them for a wee bit, and then I'm going to decide whether they're shit or not. Whether you would still want to play them some, I don't know, what, 40 years later, something like that. So yeah, listen, thanks very much for everyone that's tuned in tonight. It's always good. Now, hopefully, you'll see the resolution of the camera is a bit better as well. Like I've been messing about with it. This OBS is a really, really clever thing. There's so much kind of customization you can do with it. Um, I'm not going to start pissing about with too much. But yeah, you see there I had the little intro going. I've got the wee outro for later on. So yeah, it's all good. So anyway, right, let's switch to Commodore 64 mode. Waha! Right, okay, now I'm going to kick off with the very first Commodore 64 game I ever bought. Now you've seen this, it appears in my, what do you call it? It appears in my Arcade Perfect My Arse intro, and I've played it a few times and I can't even type the bloody name. Where the hell is it? Yeah, it's by a certain software company that's called Interceptor Software and a certain Mr. Gray. And it's, yep, it's that there, Crazy Kong. Right, I'm not going to bother looking at the manual, any of that bollocks. Let's just get this thing loaded up. So hopefully this will all go swimmingly. We can but hope. If I was going to do this properly, I should just I should load it in real time, but would probably only get through about 3 or 4 games. Sorry, Craig, I just saw an expletive from you. Everything all right, mate? Right, anyway, let's go. This is Crazy Kong, released in 1983, I think it was. Any key to start. Right, wait a minute, that's not working. Is it going to be the other joystick? And that's not working. Why is that not working? Let's have a wee look. Input. Yeah, I'm using my joypad one. Right, why is that not coming up? Well, it should be working. And for a change, it's not the. Oh, sorry, Craig. Yeah. Joypad one, joypad one. Alright, that's a pain. Right, you know what? Okay, I'm going to have to. I don't know why that's not working. Right, I'm just going to have to plug in my Xbox 360 controller, which I wasn't wanting to do. I was wanting to use a decent joystick. Right, hang on. Right, is that going to come up? There we go. Right, hopefully, right. I'm going to restart this, close that down, and start again. So how is everybody? My commiserations to all you English people for us pumping you at rugby yesterday. I have to say, I thought it was a brilliant game. It was real end-to-end stuff. Right, you see, that's annoying because that... right, there we go. Yeah, this absolute monstrosity is it's Ian Gray's take on Donkey Kong. Now, a couple of things instantly spring to mind. I don't think you actually have to collect these. I don't know what the hell they are. Diamonds or something? Is that going to come down there? Yes, it is. In fact, I think they all come down that way. Ugh. It's bastard hard trying to get up the ladder. Now, a couple of things that spring to mind. The barrels appear to be able to run on a completely flat surface. There is no graduation whatsoever. The character you play looks like a mutated ant. It looks like a little ant that's kind of jumping up and down with 2 feet. Now, one of the interesting features, we'll call it feature, in this game is Normally in Donkey Kong, when you pick up the ladder, not the ladder, you pick up the hammer, it lasts for maybe, I don't know, 30 seconds, something like that. You never know exactly when it's going to run out. And also, you can't go up or down ladders. In this one, you can. And it also lasts for, it's a completely random time. I mean, I've seen it literally last for a split second. So let's try and pick up the ladder. Yeah, there we go. Not that, why do I keep saying ladder? Hammer. And it'll just, I'm going to keep jumping just in case because, come on, get up, get up. Now I think it automatically disappears when you get to the top. Come on! How did I get to the end? Oh, have I got to pick up all the fucking gems? Right. I pressed unpressed fire button, then I promptly exploded. Right, I can't remember if you've got to pick up the gems. Oh man, this is one of the worst video games you'll ever have the pleasure to play. I mean, it lasted about 3 seconds there. Ah, dearie me. Now, I can categorically say I never got off this first level when I had this, when I bought this. Yeah, I actually paid. Oh Jesus, I actually paid. I think it was 77.99 or something. I paid for it. Now the guy at the top looks less like Donkey Kong and more like an SAS, some bloke that's just about to invade the Iranian embassy. Or in fact, it looks like a hoodie. It looks like a wee Ned. Oh, for fuck's sake! High score. Yeah, right. Well, we're playing. No, we're not going to play that again. That is Crazy Kong. It's a terrible game. I mean, it was terrible in 1983. I remember playing it and being bitterly disappointed. Bitterly disappointed back then, and it's still bitterly disappointing. A shite game in '83 is still shite. So no, avoid at all costs. But the only redeeming feature is the little the gorillas dancing, beating their chest, doing the Macarena, whatever it is. Right, there we go. Right, that's Crazy Kong. Right, the second game that I played, in fact, I bought these both at the same time. I got my C64, and then I bought both these titles from Woolco of all places, and it is Frogger again, another Interceptor game, and I'm sure it's called Frogger 64. There we are. Yep, let's get this loaded. $7.99 was a lot of money. Now, 1983, that was a considerable wad of cash. Infinite lives, nope. Invisibility, see, nope. Nope. Right, let's have another quick drink of coffee, and then we'll crack on. How is the sound balance? Let me know. Hang on. Andrew Chalice, right? So Mr. Gray wasn't involved in this one, right? We've got the right joystick for a change. Now, I have to say, when I loaded up this after loading up Crazy Kong, I kind of breathed a sigh of relief. I thought, actually, this isn't pish. It's not the smoothest game in the world, but you know what? It plays a mighty fine game of Frogger. Everything's present and correct. There's a slight delay when you press forward on the joystick. A very, very slight delay, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with this. Yeah, it's like I was saying, I've been messing about with OBS for a good couple of hours this afternoon, and yeah, I think I'm gradually getting to grips with it. There's so many things. I think I realised why I was getting an echo last week was it was picking up the sound of the intro. You can have OBS play like an intro video, so I had that playing. But then I also had a browser open, and then when the video started playing, it was playing. Oof, that was close. It was effectively playing the video, and it was picking up the sound of the video on YouTube. So I think that was what was causing it. Yeah, there is a very very slight delay. So I think he would struggle to get kind of too far in this game. But you know the actual graphics, the graphics are fine. I want to try something. Oh bollocks! Now see in Arcade Frogger, you can ride on the crocodiles' backs. In this one, it doesn't appear you can. So you'll lose a point there, Mr. Chalice. Fuck it, we'll just go in here. Right, I think that's enough of that. That is Frogger 64. You know, I quite liked that back in the day, and it's whilst it's definitely not the best Frogger game for the C64, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, slight bit of lag in the controls, but it plays fine. So yeah, that certainly redeemed Interceptor's credibility as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, there we go, Frogger 64. Now the next one, let's try and find it. Now, this game, this was the first game that I pulled an all-nighter to play, and there was a guy that I used to play with at school. Christ almighty, I didn't play with him. I used to kind of pal about with him at school. I'll not mention his name. I mean, I don't even know if he's still alive. And he was like addicted to not pinball machines. He was addicted to fruit machines, and I got this game from a C64, and he used to come to the house all the time and want to play this, and we used to sit up all night and play this. It's a really basic fruit machine thing, and you know, utterly pointless. You're never going to win any money, but yeah, Super Fruit, and this was by Commodore or S Beats, quite a cool name that. Right, let's give it a go. It's simplicity itself. Press the spacebar to spin the reels, and then I think is it. Yep, you press the number keys to hold. You would not believe the hours that I put into this game back in the day. It was mental. I mean, we played it so much. I can't remember what the maximum we won, but we had like 50 quid just playing and playing and playing. It's completely pointless. I think the only feature of this, yeah, you know what, Caldwin, you're absolutely right. I mean, what's the purpose of that? But you need to remember, this was all new. This was all new to us. You know, we'd never computers were a brand new thing. So being able to play like a fruit machine, because you know we were too young to go into pubs. We couldn't play fruit machines in a pub. Um, so being able to play it at home was just brilliant. And yeah, looking at it now, it's uh, it's basic to say the least. And again, this was when I had very very little games. You know, this was a couple of years before things like Drop Zone and Fort Apocalypse came along. So this was the real early stuff that I played. I think they were all pretty much pirate copies, apart from Crazy Kong and Frogger. I'm not doing very well. Hey, now sometimes it would give you a winning line, and then it'd also let you hold, so you could just keep, you could just keep kind of holding the winning line. It was, it was great. It was revolutionary. We'd never, computers were so new, and being able to just interact with something on your TV was something that was really, really cool. Right, anyway, I'm bored rigid now. How does that stack up now? Not very well. You know, fruit machines are ultimately pointless. I suppose if it stops you putting a lot of money in and wasting your money, then it's got a point. But this was, it was basic to say the least. I don't think it was written in basic. No, I don't think it was written in basic, but it was, it was ultimately boring. But back in 1983, I was hooked. Now, from one game that made me pull an all-nighter onto another. Now, this was another game that that's right, said friend, I should say. Um, you're probably getting a bit of a picture here. Although he was the same age as me, he used to smoke, he used to drink, he used to go to pubs when he was about 15 years old because he was a lot taller than me, and he used to play pool. And then one of the earliest games that appeared on computers were pool games. You don't really get them anymore. Well, you do, I suppose, but yeah, there was something brilliant about getting a pool game, and this was the very, very first one that I ever got. This was Hustler, not that adult mag that Dell gave Maloney last week. That's an entirely different Hustler. By N Strange, press any key. Now, what sets this game apart for the wrong reasons is there is no two-player option. Well, there is. You can have two players, but you can't have. There's no computer opponent to speak of. Any ball, right? We'll just go for any ball in any pocket. It's got some of the worst physics you'll ever see. Now you control this little crosshair you'll see there. The balls aren't. I would argue that the balls aren't even circles, or more kind of squarey, kind of diamond shape. Now there's no top or bottom. All you do is you'll see there you've got a little power bar along the bottom, and you just press the fire button, line up, and then you go. Bink! There we go. Now we used to play this game. We used to play it during the night. We wouldn't go to school. We would just stay up all night. We'd play like first to 100 games. I think the physics are, oh, there you go, are wholly unrealistic. I think it's alright when you're playing soft shots, but when you play fast shots, it just kind of goes a bit haywire. Still got it, folks. Yeah, it's ridiculously basic, but like I said, you need to put yourself into my shoes. It was 1983. I just got I wasn't lucky enough to own an Atari 2600. Um, I just got a computer, and yeah, being able to play pool on your computer was just, it was like, again, you're saving. You didn't have to go to a pub to play it, and you were saving yourself so much money. Let's see if we can cut this brown in. Yeah, you can't put any side or anything. You need to give it a good whack. What a shot! Yeah, Craig. Well, yeah, you're right, but you need to remember that was 1983. This is 1983. This was about 2 years before Steve Davis snooker came out. This I've picked. I mean, you're not gonna get any Fort Apocalypse tonight because that came later. This is the real early stuff. That was some shot. Hi Robert, how you doing, mate? Well, dear, I've not lost it. I mean, that's 9 shots. Get in. Man, I did actually like the tune Pot Black. Right, that was Hustler. Now these are not in any particular order, but these were the real early games. The next one is it's a company. What are they called? Triad Software. Now they were only around for a very short space of time. No, sorry, I'm talking rubbish. They're called Livewire. They were only around for a really short space of time, and they only brought out about, I don't know, maybe about 3 or 4 games for the C64. Don't think they brought anything out. Hang on, I'm just going to jump into full screen talking for a second. Yeah, they came out, I don't know, 1983. They only brought out a very small handful of games, but every one was really arcade. They were almost kind of similar to what do you call it? Not task set software, similar to, yeah, task set software. Their games are very kind of arcadey. And this one is called Triad or Triad 64. If you look at the on the the cassette inlay, it's called Triad 64. A lot of early games they had 64 at the end. I don't know why. Right, let's get back to the C64. You notice how it fades in and out. Oh, how good is that? Yeah, really getting on top of this thing now. Right, anyway, this is Triad 64. And this has got really good music, and this is actually quite an impressive game for its time, I think. Do you fancy unlimited lives? Hell no. Yep, bask in that music, folks. I never knew what the high score magic number was. I didn't see what the point of this was. Now, I'm going to turn up the sound in this because the sound is actually. Can you hear the sound all right? I hope it's loud enough. I'm going to turn the sound up a wee bit. I mean, look at all the options. Why did I just instantly. What happened there? I don't know what happened there. I instantly died. Yeah, this is kind of like a pseudo 3D Galaxian, I would say. Don't worry, Paul, that game will be coming up. Again, you need to look at what other games are out when stuff like this came out, and this was an impressive game for the time. Rank Warrior? What the hell? Doesn't take much, does it? Oh, well, let's just get to the end there. Yeah, the games are all written very arcade-like. Evening, Matt. How are you, mate? I've just thought of another game actually I need to put on the list. Yeah, that was. I loved that game back in the day. How does it stand up now? I think it's still an impressive game when you bear in mind how early it was, and even like other games of the time. The SID music was just crap, but that actually introduced a soundtrack. I know it's Takata, obviously. That was actually you didn't want to reach for the volume button. So that's a great wee game. That is Triad, and that is by Livewire. Right, close that down. Good evening, Adam. How are you, mate? Um, right, next on the list. Let me see. Should I mix it up a wee bit? Nah, fuck it. I'm just going to run through these as and when I remember them. In fact, I'm just going to put another game that I remembered. Uh, there we go. Right, the next one. This was a game by Bubble Bus again, which was the company that did Hustler, and it was based on Centipede. Let's see if I can find it. And it was called Exterminator. Well, it was called. It still is called Exterminator by a guy called Ken Grant. And yeah, this was, see, back in the day, you could plagiarize games to your heart's content. Nobody gave a shit. You could bring out a game and call it Pac-Man, and Namco wouldn't even sniff at you. Infinite Lives, nope. Invincibility, nope. This has got well done, Matt. Excellent, mate. Um, yeah, you need to turn the sound up for this. Let's get it nice and loud. The sound of the eagle, I think, is particularly impressive. It's a noisy game. Listen to that, I think that is damned impressive. And it kind of does a burp sound when you kill it. And look at the animation of that spider, I think that's quite impressive. Oh, bollocks. There's that little bastard. You want to kill him if you can. Ah, right, I didn't realise that. I've only been playing it for God knows how many years. Yeah, you can actually, you can wipe out. Can you do that in Centipede? I don't think you can. What I liked about this game is it was a bit easier, well, quite considerably easier than Centipede. As he instantly dies. I think that's an extra life, that whiny noise. Kill him, come on. Some slight kind of sprite detection issues going on, but nothing to get overly concerned about, folks. So you can sleep easy tonight. And I always laughed. There's always some of the little segments. It's almost like they had a gammy leg. They were kind of hobbling. Look at it. They're kind of hobbling. I don't know what's wrong with these. Whoops! Kaboom! Ah, the T right. Yeah, I know what game you're talking. Well, I know the title, Paul. Five-a-side football. I don't think I've ever actually played it. Oh, bollocks. The problem with making the border the same colour as the play area, you think you can still move down the screen, you can't. And then you die like that. Now, back in the day, I used to be able to play this for, I wouldn't say unlimited amount of time, but I could play it for a long time. Right, we'll try and clear this level, and then we'll move on to something else. But I don't think you can clear a level. I think it just keeps kind of going. Right, listen, I could keep playing that. That is Exterminator. Love that game so much. Right now, another company that was quite prevalent in the early 80s, the early lifetime of the 64 was Analog Software. They put out some in my opinion, some really good arcade conversions. You know, they were competing with the likes of Interceptor software, but Analog, they were just a cut above. They really, the graphics and playability looked so much better. Good evening, Kevin. How are you, mate? Yeah, just playing some of the earliest Commodore 64 games that I can remember. So yeah, the next one is going to be, what was that? That was Exterminator. Yeah, it was a game by Analog Software, and I've played it quite a few times on the stream. In fact, I think I even played it, I don't know, maybe about 3-4 weeks ago. And it's a Scramble, Skrable. Right, let's get back to that. And Scramble by Analogs. See, I thought it was called Scramble 64. It wasn't. No, unfortunately, you didn't get intros like that back in the day. These were all new additions. Now, I think I've mentioned this before. By the Wanking Rabbit. That's got to be the best hacker group ever. Wanking Rabbit. Right, yeah, the original had quite dodgy scrolling, used retouch graphics, and some clever bugger came out and they brought out a new kind of version. They tweaked it so that you could improve the scrolling, improve the graphics, etc. But I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to play it exactly as it was. Start at Sector 1, unlimited chips. Nope, 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 nope. Evening, Douglas. How are you, mate? Paratrooper. That was, yeah, I did play that eventually. Um, Falcon Patrol is on the list. You'll be pleased to know. Even the Mad Commodore. Yeah, see, I never knew about. I didn't have the Rabbit software on. This was the one that I had. I remember really colourful adverts on computer and video games for this game. Right, let's give it a go. Again, try and put yourself into a 16-year-old Mamemeister. You know, I just got not even my first computer. I just got my first video game system. I never had any consoles. The only consoles I had were the ones that you can see behind me, the little LED ones. I never had an Atari 2600. I didn't have a ZX 81. I mean, I had a Texas Instruments very briefly. So, getting a Commodore 64 and be able to play this in the house was just, it was like a dream come true. I used to play Scramble in the rugby club. And being able to play this in the house for free was just, it was, you can't believe, it's hard to actually describe just how exciting it was. It was a complete, no pun intended, it was a complete game changer, it really was. But even with the dodgy controls, or not the dodgy controls, the dodgy scrolling, it still holds up. I think this still holds up pretty well as a Scramble clone. That was bloody lucky. But again, you'll not be surprised to know, despite the fact that I play this all the time, I don't think I ever actually completed it. Yeah, oh, bollocks. Good evening, Leanne. How are we? Yeah, listen, if you're new to the channel, if you've not been watching long, come and say hello. We don't bite, we're actually quite a nice bunch in here. You can see that it's got dodgy sprite detection. There we go. That is a scramble. Shall we get? Yeah, let's give that one more go. I think actually, I think it's worthy of a second go. I think you've got to wait for it to come up. Press fire button to start. Yeah, and I'll be honest, when you actually play the enhanced version, it makes it almost as, I'm not going to say arcade perfect, but it turns it into an absolutely fantastic version. Okay, listen, Adam, I just want to let you see games as they were when I was playing them, but I'll let you see the improved version. Yeah, I mean, Leanne, I don't concentrate on any one system. I try and play lots of different systems, but the C64 was my go-to system. It was a machine that I owned back in the day, and that'll be the one that I've got the nostalgia for. So I do play more Commodore 64 stuff over other systems, but I do like to try and I play a lot of arcade stuff, whatever. Right, we're going to use the scrolling patch. We're not going to use the actual graphics are completely different, and I think it loses something. So this is the same game, but it's got the smooth scrolling. See what you think. Yeah, how good is that? I think that you can see there the animation for the bullets is still quite kind of low frame, but yeah, that just takes an already competent version, in my opinion, and turn it into an even better version. I wonder how simple it was actually to kind of and not enhance it to make it smooth scrolling. Right, listen, we better batter on. That's Scramble. Okay, the next one, and again, this is a game that I've played a lot over the years. It was the very first Lamasoft game I ever saw. I'll just stick it back on the full screen for a second. It was the very first Lamasoft game I ever saw. There's a bad echo in here. And it was called Attack the Mutant Camels. Now, depending on what part of the world you live in, Attack the Mutant Camels is a different game. We had a game called Grid Runner, and then you had Matrix. And for whatever reason, I think when Grid Runner was released in America, I think it was called Attack the Mutant Camels, something like that. I don't know why they do that, but they do. So yeah, it's quite rough around the edges. And I'll tell you one thing: the scrolling in this is shite, and it'd be interesting if somebody was able to smooth the scrolling out. I'd like to see that. But anyway, we're going to play it exactly as it was written. Again, this came out in 1983. The sound in this game, even now, is just fantastic. Now, I'm tempted to. Right, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to mess about. I need to share the screen. Hang on, so you can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. I want to try and get this joystick working because this game really does require a proper joystick. I wonder. Wait a minute. I wonder. Is it maybe this one? I've got two of these. I don't know whether that's going to make any difference. Probably not. Yeah, I've got to attach one of these little adapter things because the joystick's an actual Atari 9-pin. Yeah, Revenge was a great game. That came out quite a bit later. Well, for me, this was the first game. Hey, there we go. Hopefully. Excellent, right, we're away. We're cooking with gas. Now, this game was, I wouldn't say inspired, I would say plagiarised by Jeff Minter. It was Jeff he saw what do you call it, The Empire Strikes Back on Atari 2600, and he thought he would make his own version, but he was going to put camels in, and that's exactly what this is. But on Jeff's own admission, he did say that the camels looked more like two fat blokes and a pantomime horse. Now, you can only destroy the camel with shooting. You can't, if you're in the grey area, you can't kill it. Best thing to do is get up behind it and basically shoot it up the backside like so. Yeah, the graphics are bloody awful in this game, as is the scrolling, but you know what? It's a great blaster. There is a technically better Atari 800 version, but it's the sort of the oh bollocks, I'm getting hit there. It's oh, I thought we were done there. I thought we were on to level 2. Yeah, it's harder to play, considerably harder to play. And now you get this little warp zone thing. Just keep moving up and down the screen and you should be fine. Like that. There we go. How good does that sound? Good evening, Satan. It's not often we get visited by Beelzebub himself. Nice to have you along, mate. Now you can make this game more difficult by turning on the detection so that if you hit the camel you die. I wouldn't recommend it unless you're hardcore. There's not many programmers for the C64 that could do sound effects better than Jeff Minter. You need to remember, Jeff Minter was writing games himself, did everything. Programming, graphics, game design, you name it. The wee bullet that makes that wee shrieky noise, that's a homing missile, so you need to be on your toes. Just can you wait till the last minute and then go up and over. Right, okay, I'm going to switch this off now. I could keep playing it because I do love a bit of Attack of the Mutant Camels. Right, full screen talking, there we go. Right, yeah, that was Attack of the Mutant Camels, that was by Lamasoft. Now, the next game that I played, it's, I'm just trying to think. It's probably the game I've played more on my Commodore 64 than any other game, and it was on cartridge, and it was by Commodore because I think Commodore were probably the only company that actually released games on cartridge, and it was International Soccer, um, programmed by Andrew Spencer. Now we did also do a international basketball, funnily enough, and it's fantastic. Both games are great. It says I've actually got the cartridge for that somewhere. This is, I mean, it's an old game. I remember when my mate got what was it? He got not match point. What was it called again? What was the football game in the Spectrum? Anyway, he got match day. Yeah, he got match day, and people were saying that was the best football game ever. I'm sorry, but I beg to differ. Um, International soccer is way better. It really, really is. You just got to wait in the screen disappearing. I think you're right, Hawkeye. Yeah, I mean Jeff Minter was he loved all the Williams machines. That's changing the colour. That's changing the colour as well. And yeah, I would be very surprised if he wasn't influenced by Williams games. Now you can play up to level 9. I think we're going to go for level 5 because it's been a long, long time. Let's get going. Yeah, I remember reading the review in Commodore and video games. Commodore? What? Stop talking bollocks. I remember reading the review in computer and video games, and it got a great review, and I just had to buy it. And it's not that controller. Hang on, swap port. There we go. Now, there's a trick. If you run this way and go, I didn't do that right. If you time it right, if you press fire button, I'll try and do it in a second. Oh, I'm just giving the ball away. Now, the goalkeepers are ridiculously incompetent. Wait a minute. Hang on a sec. I'm trying to remember. Was there not a tackle? Maybe not. For some weird reason, I've been playing too much Emily Hughes soccer. I thought you could tackle in this. I thought there was an actual tackle animation, but I don't think that was the case. Now, the easiest way to score in this game is just to run the ball into the net. Why something niggles me that oh fuck, sorry. Apologies, right? I'll need to stop. I'll need to stop doing that. Right, I'm gonna do a soft reset. That was a pain in the arse. Sorry, folks. Try again. That's the problem when you do something. You've got to remember to. You're not getting any audio confirmation at all. Right, you've heard me. You've heard me talking. Right. Anyway, we'll go for Scotland. So it's going to be blue, and then obviously it's going to be England. Whoops, blue, blue. Yep, white for England, and go for 5 again. Try again. Right, I'll stop putting it on the full screen because I forget to change it. Yeah, the best way to score at this game is just to try and run the ball in because the goalkeepers are a bit shit. Make them dive. Come on, dive. There we go. Yeah, get it right up you, England. You behave yourself, Kev. Like I said, it's the problem what you have, and I'm sure anyone that's ever made any YouTube content will know. You know, if you turn off a microphone volume or whatever, you've not got any. You've not got somebody saying to you, "You better turn that back on again." You're too busy looking at the screen, um, and you've got to rely on reading a comment. I think you could score diagonally. There we go. Make them jump like that. Well, it's good to know the only technical thing tonight has been my stupidity. Right, you get away. Bugger off. Come on, dive. There we are, 2-0. Emlyn Hughes Soccer really took it up a notch. It took the kind of the template of this and just added it. I was trying before I shared the screen. I thought you could do a sliding tackle, but I think that was Emlyn Hughes. You could certainly do a sliding tackle in Emlyn Hughes Soccer, but I don't think you could in this game. The only way to tackle was to run up to them like that. Now I'm going to try and do the famous run the opposite way. There we go, and bounce it on your head. Oh bollocks, made an arse of that. Right, we'll try again. No, no. The AI swapping, putting this nearest. Good save, sir. Yeah, putting you on the nearest. He just keeps hitting it off the post. Wasn't the greatest, but yeah, you know what? For an early game, an early football game, I still think this stands up. It still puts up a fairly good version of football, especially when you get two people playing. The AI in the game's not the greatest. Hi, Colin. How you doing, mate? Wow, got 39 people. Holy shit, 39 people with no life. Right, anyway, but I do appreciate. Right, I'm going to stick it back onto full screen for a second. Remind me to switch it off before I go on to the next game. Have I got any coffee I have? Right, the next game I'm going to play is, it's already been mentioned, it was a game it was released by Virgin, and the guy's name was Steve Lee. I don't know if he made any other games. I think he made just give me 2 seconds, folks. I need to take this phone call. 2 seconds. Unmuted. Sorry about that. Right, where are we? Yeah, this was a game programmed by Steve Lee, and it's Falcon Patrol. FAL. Right, I'm going to make sure I share the screen just now before I forget. There we are. No, I'm saying, trust me. If I'm going to do a dump, I'll tell you. Right, Falcon Patrol. Let's try and find it. It's got a real. Again, this is one of these games that it had quite impressive music for the time. I mean, it's not whizball quality music, but consider 99% of games that came out at that point, they were a bit. The music was not very good. Yeah, I saw Jean-Michel Jarre. Oh, I'm trying to think, Colin. Probably about 10 years ago, actually. It was a bit of a dream come true to get to see him. I saw him playing in Glasgow. Right. Press the fire button to start game. Okay, let's go. Space. Oh, sorry, space to start. High score. Yep. Reset high score. And that was it. That was the only music you got. Right, that's not starting, so I'm assuming it must be. There we go. Now, I think the sound effects for this game, they're very, very kind of filter inspired. Actually, really good. So I'm too busy looking at the comments there. It wasn't far off it, Brian. It was a long time ago. If it wasn't 10 years ago, it was probably about 8 or 9. Now, listen to the sound effects when you kill these guys. I think that is excellent. Again, very basic looking game now. Scrolling's not perfect. Come on. I've got enough gas. I'll just top up a wee bit. Oh shit. I think the sound is fantastic in this game. If I remember rightly, I think the sequel for this game introduced you could fire down. I think you were a helicopter, weren't you? Never really enjoyed the sequel as much as this one. Have it. shit. Yeah, they gradually destroy. Oh, I've run out of ammo. Bollocks. Oh, crap. This is the first proper game I've had of this for a long, long time, and what a cracking game it is. Right, anyway, no bother putting our high score in for that. Yeah, that's a fantastic game. It really is. Okay, right, that was Falcon Patrol. Now, the next one, I'm going to apologise in advance because this game is absolutely bollocks. And even at the time, I knew it was completely bollocks. But there was one little bit of the game that me and my mate, Robert, became stupidly addicted to it. And it was a little betting game, and I think it was something like higher or lower. It's one of the worst games you will ever, ever, ever play, and I mean that sincerely. And it's called The Fabulous Wonder. Let's get it back onto that before I forget. I think it was written in BASIC, and it was. I think it was classed as like the first sort of like, adult game. Like I want to try and find. There we go. Yeah, it was called. It was called. I want to try and. Right, how can we share this? No, it doesn't really matter. I don't have to. Well, no, I can't. Let me. Let me see if I can. Uh, if I can share the. Nah, you know what? I'm not going to bother. I'll read it out. The actual. The the cover on the. Come on. Yeah, it was 7.99. I'm just going to read out the description. The Fabulous Wonder. I'll just stick it back onto full screen for a second. The Fabulous Wonder and the Secret of Life, the universe, and everything. An adult fantasy game with arcade action. I mean, seriously, what's not to like? You're traveling far from home looking for good times around the universe when you're intercepted by the evil Brutus of the Federation Brutus. So the Federation Brutus forces you to go back and seek the secret of life, the universe, and everything, knowing only to the fabulous wonder, a hostess in the spaced out inn in Highsville on the planet Copus. You're teleported down to Highsville where customs man demands money for teleport tax. There is a video game in the terminal with 3 credits left. Now you're on your own and you must decide how to proceed to Highsville Main Street to find the various establishments to enter. Yeah, I mean, to a 15-year-old, that was like, I need some of that. So right, let's get back to that. And yeah, don't build your hopes up, folks. Let's get this loading. Games machine, okay. Summer games is an absolute. I couldn't. Yeah, I'm with you, Satan. Absolutely with you. I could not stand California games. I loved summer games. Loved the first 2 summer games. Now I think this is probably like an original tape. So it's how do we speed it up? I'm sure there is an option to go full welly if I'm not mistaken. Control. How do we speed this up again? It is loading. Trust me, I can see the little. I can see the wee thing moving at the bottom. I can't remember how to speed it up. If anybody, oh, there we go, we're getting there. Yep, I remember this. Now, the reality of waiting for this game to load, it was before turbo loaders. See, people that were late on to the C64 think that turbo loaders it was just there all the time. It wasn't. Early Commodore 64 games, there was no such thing as turbo loader. The first turbo loader game that I ever owned was Revenge of the Mutant Camels. There we go, The Fabulous Wonder and the Secret of Life, the Universe, and Everything by Alan G. Osborne. Press F1 key to begin. Right, enjoy the journey, folks. You're looking for good times on a one-man unarmed vessel. Right, hit key. There we go. Alt plus W. Thanks, Mad Commodore. Right, alien ship demanding dialogue. Hit F1 to establish contact. Evening, Ross. How are you, mate? Now, I'm sure somebody told me, I can't remember, I might have read it, that this game is actually impossible to complete. Here we go. Activating teleporter. Right, let's play the video game. You've got, is it Klebs? I think it is. Yeah, there you go. You've got to collect Klebs. Now you use it doesn't even use joystick. There you go, 3 credits. Now we loved playing this, but I don't even know what you're supposed to be. You move left and right, and you move over the little dollar signs to collect money, or Klebs. Oh, bollocks. Jesus, that's a bit unfair. But we obviously played this thinking we were going to eventually see some incredible thing. And sadly it never ever materialised. If you just joined the stream, folks, I'm basically playing, revisiting games that I played right back at the very start when I first got my Commodore 64. You know, I got it back in, I think it was 1983. There was no such thing as Exploding Fist or Beachhead or Impossible Mission. None of these games existed. There was a lot of dross, shall we say, but you know what? It was all new. And, you know, even stuff like this seemed like a lot of fun. Right, I think we're just going to die. Let's just, right, we'll pick up one more. Right, let's just die and move on to the next bit. I have allegedly been arrested for vagrancy. Oh, have you got to collect? I think to get to the next bit is when you actually get into. Oh God, listen to that. Hang on, wait a minute. At least I've got the apostrophe in the right place. Give them a bonus point. There we go, and it's now kicked you out of the game. Can you list it? No. So it's actually, there you go. It's actually, once you die, it resets the game, and you had to load the bastard all over again. Yeah, that was 1983 gaming, folks. Right, let's get back to me talking. Right, this next one was I noticed a lot of the games, the early games that came out in computers, it was all sports games, it was pool games and what have you, snooker games and football games, and tennis was no exception. This game was called Wimbledon 64, and it was released by a company called Merlin Software. Let me just put that back on C64. There we go. And yeah, it looked the part. I thought that looks really good. Now Jason Perkins, I believe he went on to write Bounder for Gremlin Graphics. Now there's a flaw in this game, and that flaw will become known very, very soon. Right, let's press the fire button to start. Is it the other control? There we are. Now, it's interesting because you look at this and you've got their game difficulty. Oh, wait a minute. Has this been reprogrammed? Now let me finish. When this game came out, there was no single player option. All you had was you had to have two players to play it. There was no AI. But I'm wondering if this has been fixed. And the answer is no. Yep, you can only play with yourself. So if you don't have any mates, like I didn't have back in the day, you'd been sold a game which you couldn't play. Now let's have a wee look. I actually port to joystick. I'm going to put in right what I want to do. Just bear with me, folks. I'm going to put in joypad 2, and I'm going to put in joypad 2. What I'm going to do here is I have now configured the joystick, so I'm now controlling both players. So you'll see when I serve, even trying to bloody hit the ball over the net is impossible. Before you think I'm completely inept, go and try it. Oh, holy shit. Oh, there we go. At least we hit it. The thing is, the graphics kind of look alright. Yeah, I'm controlling both players. That was the only way you could possibly play. I never actually thought about doing that at the time, but then there again, I never owned two joysticks. It is almost impossible to play. So how does this game stand up? Not well at all. It was pish back in 1983, and it's pish now. Yeah, we're not going to waste any more time. And that was Wimbledon '64. I just want to see what it said in the manual. Did it actually mention Wimbledon '64 is the best sports simulation, apparently, folks. Best sports simulation program ever conceived. At last, you can play the skillful and challenging game of lawn tennis on your Commodore 64. Written for either beginner or accomplished player, the program enables a game to be played with simple rallies back and forth, gradually increasing the range of strokes as you become more proficient. That's a pile of bollocks. Eventually, the number of strokes you can employ is equal to the number of such players as McEnroe, Connors, and Borg. Yeah, there you go. That is a complete lie. Absolute lie. Hmm. Right. Back to that before I forget. So that was a bad game back then. Right. Let's get on to a good game. Now it was mentioned earlier on. This was a game that came out by again. We had a fixation when computers first came out. With a fixation, you wanted to be able to play a racing game. You wanted to play pole position. I mean, it took a few years before pole position came out, or maybe 6 months. But back in 1983, 6 months was like a year. And one of the first games I ever got was a game called Motor Mania by Audiogenic. Uh, yeah, the cover of the tape looks like something out of Tron. Unlimited cars, nope, nope, nope. I mean, we never had all these options back in the day. Unlimited fuel. Uh, Commodore 64 exit. The thing is, playing this back then, I kind of almost imagined that it was like some sort of emulation or simulation of driving. I was driving a car. You had fuel, you had the sound of the engine. Now you'll notice there you don't really turn, you just move from side to side. Bollocks. If you so much as clip the edge of the screen, it's you lose a life. Pressing fire button does nothing. I don't think there was any point to other than trying to just drive for as long as you could. But again, you need to put yourself into a 16-year-old's shoes because this was we'd never played video games at home before, and then suddenly, oh bollocks, fire engine. I mean, this was this based on one of these Atari games, possibly? Yeah. What is gen? You got fuel. I don't know what that is. What could that be? Generator? No idea. Yeah, looking at it now, it is. Oh bollocks! It is really simplistic. Good evening, Kevin. How are you, mate? Right, yeah, it's how does that stand up now? I mean, back in the day, I loved that. I thought that was a great game. I played it all the time. In the coldness of 2023, not very good. It's not one I would recommend you go back and play. But yeah, it was an early interesting game, or an interesting early game, I should say. Right, that was Motor Mania. Oh my God, we're going from bad to worse now, folks. This next one was a game again, sports game. You wanted. I don't know what it was about early computer games. You just wanted to play sports games on your computer, and think of a golf game. Don't think your leaderboard. Leaderboard was like 2 years later. This game is called Abrasco Golf. And I've played that in the past, and it is a shocker. And rather than just call it like golf, they actually had the name of the title or the name of the software company, so they called it Abrasco Golf. Where is it? There we go, Abrasco Golf. Has it got a manual? No, it doesn't. Oh, there's an advert for it. Golf, we've created it for the Spectrum, now also available for the 64. An extremely, like, listen to this, folks, an extremely realistic, challenging, and fun experience. Realistic and fun, remember that. The authentic computer golf, addictive whether or not you play the outdoor game. Yeah, you can call into your local stockist or contact us now for these and the rest of our VIC 20 games. So just think about it. Authentic, realistic, and fun. Yeah, these are three words you'll never ever use with this. Now, this game, I actually remember this was probably the game that took the longest to load. It quite literally was that thick of tape. There we go, a quality copy. All right, this is obviously. Oh, what the hell? Again, there was no such thing. What did Mad Commodore say? I think he told me. Eh, oh, hang on, it helps if you share the screen. Sorry. Listen to that music. I apologise now if your ears are bleeding. Right, can we press a button? Have we got to? Apparently, you could even Alt plus W. Thank you. You could even save a game. No, we don't want to save a game, or we don't want to load a game even. Nope. Right, one player. What is your handicap? Quite at the back. Oh, I don't know, 23. How many holes? Oh, we'll just go for 4, I think. Not that we're going to play any more than 1. Alright, there we go. Right, now you are, if you look at the very top of the screen, you'll see a little brown square with a black dot. That is where you are, that's the T. If you look kind of 3/4 of the way down the screen and it's directly above the letter N and the word button, you'll see the green. Now we want to hit down the way. Now it's not and if you think about any modern golf game, you angle it using the joystick and then you hit it. Not in this one. You've got to have stuck in it maths or arithmetic to play it. So you want to hit it down the way, which is 180 degrees. Now, fortunately, it's actually given it. You'll see their direction at 180 degrees, so it's going to hit straight down. The club is a 1 wood. Fire button. There we go. It now cuts a kind of 3D view. Select the club. So we'll go for a driver, and do you just press and hold the fire button in? There we go. Yeah. Now you might be thinking, oh, this is nice. You get a nice little overview of the ball travelling. But then think about this. Every single shot. And it keeps bouncing. And it keeps bouncing. Christ, I must have fucking ran there. I calmly Walk to the ball. Right, where are we? Now you'll see there the little black dot, or the ball I should say, is now sort of directly below the green. So what I now need to do is, oh, no, arse biscuits, wait a minute. Right, I want to, does it tell you how far it doesn't even tell you how far you are away. No, I've no idea how far I am from it. But I think we're going to have to go for a 9 iron. Now the direction, well, the direction I want to hit up the way, which is going to be, if you're hitting straight up, it's going to be 0 degrees. You want to hit about 10%, something like that. It's not the most user-friendly golf game in the world. 1 iron, 10%, fire button. Now you can move the joystick. Now see if they'd left it like that, where you go, boop, that would be semi-fun, but oh no, they don't do that. You have to set the strength, and then you press the fire button. And you get rewarded with another one of these cutscenes. Yeah, suffice to say, I played this game for about, I think I played it once and I never went back. Right, now we're going to have to hit, it's going to be 180, I reckon 175 degrees. It's going to have to be direction is going to be 185, no, 175 even. And we just want to hit it a wee teeny bit like that, like that. Can you imagine? Can you imagine playing a two-player game over 18 holes? Right, we need to keep going. Right, it's going to be 355, I think. Oh, there we go. And even at putting, you've got to actually work out the angle. So it's going to be what's that? 270. It's going to be about 300. And you've got to try and pick the distance. No, 180, 270. I think we go for about 300. And I'm going, you know what? I thought that white thing was the ball and the black thing was a hole. I've actually got it wrong. Right, anyway, that is absolutely god awful. It was an atrocious game back in 1983 to the point that I literally played it once. I think I ended up using the tape to record over it. It was a shocker. Right, we've got about another. How are we doing for time? We might fit them in. There's not going to be any bigger games right now. I'm going to apologise now to Mr. Morrison. This game is going to open old wounds. It's a game by Kingsoft, and it's Galaxy. Now, I'll let Paul explain why this is going to open up wounds. Kingsoft, there we go. It's basically Galaga on the C64. I don't know why it was quite slow. It had kind of slowdown. Is that because it used high-res graphics? Infinite lives? No, no, no. Uh, 3. Oh, F5 even. There we go. Right, I'll let somebody in the chat tell you why. Well, I'll tell you. Paul Morrison, he writes for Amiga magazine, and a couple of years ago we did we did a 12-hour live stream for charity. We raised £1,000 for 3 charities, which was fantastic. But part of the stream is if you ever remember Zap back in the day, there was a score lord, not a score lord, well, there was a score lord, it was a character, a fictional character, and they would invite a member of the public into Zap Towers, and the person would pick a game and they would play like 3 games against Jazz Rignall, Gary Penn, whatever, and try and beat them. Now we thought it'd be a bit of fun since Paul writes for Zap if the 3 of us, sorry, the 2 of us each play 3 games at this game, and then what we then did was we didn't know how each other got on. We then played the videos, and it was like 1 point for the winner, and I won. Now, there's not many games that I would beat Paul in, if any. But yeah, I absolutely handed him his arse at this game. This is a great game though. It has got a wee bit slow down, but it's epic. Oh, fuck's sake, sorry. Sorry, folks. Oh, I'm a bloody twat. I'll need to stop putting it onto full screen because I keep forgetting. I think I need to get somebody, Dell, you need to phone me and tell me that I'm not sharing the screen. Oh. I'm too busy looking at the comments. Zerons is the best Galaxian clone. Never heard of that one. Ah. Right, anyway, yeah, apologies for not letting you see much of the game. In fact, well, I'll just play it for a wee bit longer, I think. Now, you know, through the power of emulation, you could, in theory, tweak the speed of this. Just give it a bit of oomph. Right, I'll move on. I want to try and get through the list. There's about another probably, I don't know, 9 games, something like that. So that was Galaxy. Right, the next one, I'm going to speed up a wee bit. I want to try and finish for 9 o'clock if I can help it. I'll put that on for a second, and I promise you I will switch it back. This next one is I don't even know who wrote the game. It's based on it's a clone of, what do you call it, Amadar, and it's called Gridder. Now there was one called Super Gridder, and I don't know what the difference was. I'm trying to find it. Terminal software. Cheers, Kevin. Right, I'll put that back on so you can see it for a change. Right, Super Gridder. Yeah, it's It's basically Amador. And again, we can only wish that games like that had an intro, something like that. Super Gridder, life cheat. No, nope, nope, nope. This was simplicity itself, and I love this game. It's such a fun wee game. I did being to fill in the gaps. Good evening, Ian. How are you, mate? Quite easy to play as well, which was always a bonus in my book. Yeah, like I say, simple gameplay, but good fun. Really, really good fun. Oh, bollocks. One more life or level, whatever comes first. I think it's going to be losing a life. For crying out loud, right? Okay. My powers are weak, old man. Right, okay, that was Gridder. Right, this next one, back to analog software, and this I've got a little anecdote about this game. I've told you before. If I can find it. Right, put it back on that. This game. My mate. Well, he wasn't really a mate at the time. He was more an acquaintance. He came up to my house, and my goodness, that's a lot of. We don't want any of these. Yeah, he came up to my house with a C90 tape, absolutely chock a block with games, and he loaded this game, and he was going to let me copy the tape, and for whatever reason, he didn't. He said, "Oh, I've got to go home now." So I said, "Look, can you load up this game?" And I left this game on for like 2 days. I never switched my Commodore 64 off because if I did, I couldn't play the game. And yeah, I think it looks quite nice. I mean, to be fair, the monkey looks more like he looks more like a linebacker in an American football game. Trying to jump the barrels is nigh on impossible. And again, for whatever reason, it appears the barrels can oh, bollocks. It appears the barrels can actually run down a completely flat girder. I don't know what's going on with this wee guy's nose. But I remember seeing this at the time, thinking this was like arcade perfect. That's going to go down, isn't it? Of course it is. This game almost makes Crazy Kong appear playable. Yeah, I think in this one you've got to jump super early. Come on. Have that. try 2 more lives. Yeah, 2 more lives and then we'll move on. Oh, bollocks, I didn't mean to do that. So we try and get to the top, that'd be nice. Don't come down, never ever do what I'm doing. Oh, oh, bollocks. Arse. I think if it was a bit quicker, it might actually make it a wee teeny bit easier to play. Right, enough of that. That is Kong. But yeah, I left my Commodore 64 on all, and I think it was for 2 days, or maybe it was just one, just to be able to play that. Right, next one. Right, we've got 5 games to go. We might not get through them all. We've got 10 minutes. What am I doing here? Right, next game was a game by. I would actually kind of call him a friend of mine's now, Sean Southern. This was Olympic Skier, which he wrote for the C64. Loved this game. Absolutely loved it. Right, back in that again. Olympic Skier. There we go, Mr. Chip Software. And it had quite a decent little SID tune as well, based on Ski Sunday, which was a skiing program. I don't know, it's weird. Oh, see, I had it when it came out in 1983. Yeah, skiing program. It's just not something you'd really get nowadays in the UK. I'm going to. Now you need to try and press the fire button as fast as you can, and then you press up. Oh, bollocks. This game has got one of the best sounding helicopter noises you could ever hope to get. How cool is that sound effect? Pom, pom. What I liked about this game as well is you could. Amusing, there we go, yeah, it gave you a little rating. Oh, bugger. Oh, damn it. Again, you'll notice a lot of these early games, the scrolling wasn't good. Yeah, I think that is really, even the little rotor thing movement is really good. Yeah, that was Olympic Skier. Right, we've got 3 to go, 4 to go actually, or 5 to go. Yeah, we'll try and. Nah, I'm not even going to bother letting you see this one. Right, this next one is another cartridge which I bought And that I've got to say, this is one of the best home conversions, arcade conversions that you'll ever see in the C64. This is Wizard of War. Now, interestingly, there was actually two versions released. This was the second one. The first version was completely shit, but this version is, in my opinion, is a stunning conversion. If somebody told you this had been made just a couple of years ago, you'd probably believe them. But no, this came out in 1983, and it's absolutely fantastic. Apparently, the cartridge for this goes for a pretty penny, and of course, I gave it I sold everything I had, disk drive, entire collection of Zap games, discs, Commodore 64 for £100. This was a brilliant two-player game as well. Even the way the sort of music changes as well was brilliant. And this wee guy does kind of disappear. You have to keep a wee eye on the radar. Quite easy to begin with, but then it ramps the difficulty up. Now, when you're playing this two-player mode, you can actually kill your opponent, so you need to be careful. Just watch out for this bastard, he'll try and escape. Oof. Yeah, that was a bit daft. Ow, as was that. Shit, that thing's going invisible. You need to watch out for it. Just look at the wee radar at the bottom to try and get a feel for where he is. Oof, that was lucky. Yeah, fantastic game. If you've never played that, go and check it out. Right, we've got another couple to go. Yeah, it's back to what was it called, Livewire games. They brought out, in my mind, probably the best, one of the best until the original, until the sort of the Arcade Perfect one came out. Frogger games, and it was called Jumpin' Jack. And it had a little bit of music, which it was like a 10-second bit of music, probably less than that, and it actually really added to the game. It didn't actually get annoying. Let's see if I can find it, and don't worry, I will put the screen back on again. Jumping Jack, Livewire. You don't believe the number of games called Jumping Jack. Right, let's get that back to there. There we go. Right, Jumping Jack. This was by Livewire again. Now, this was a 1984 release. Listen, guys, if you're new to the stream, if you don't really comment ever, please just say hello. It's nice just to just to see who's actually in the stream. I mean, according to that, there's 37 people watching. Just put your hand up, say hello. Good evening, John. You've quite literally tuned in with 3 minutes to go. High score. Delete high score. Now, if you're of a certain age and you lived in the UK, I'm sure that music track is the theme tune to Mr. Ben. Always think the animation for the dragonfly's wings was quite impressive. Am I right? Is that Mr. Ben tune? Rescue the bird. Oof. This is I played this one a lot. This is great. Oh, you bastard. Also, it's quite cute, even the way he kind of sits. In fact, I'm sure he's got a nice little face. If you make him face you, I'm sure he's got a wee smiley face. Let's have a look. How cool is that? How cute is he? Oh, bollocks. Yeah, there's a few people have pointed out over the years, why does a frog drown? I thought frogs could swim. But yeah, for an early game, I think this is bloody brilliant. Things get a wee bit faster. Right, we'll leave that one there. Right, I think we've got time for one last. Well, it's actually 9 o'clock, but we'll do one last game, folks. I'm going to go for what we're going to do. We're going to do that one. We're going to do that one. No, we're going to go for. It's by a game. It's by a game by a guy that programmed Beachhead, and it was the Carver brothers, Bruce Carver, and it was called Neutral Zone. I just remember playing this again. I had a pirate copy of it. It was programmed by Bruce Carver, and it was released by Access Software, who went on to obviously do Beachhead amongst other games. This one was quite kind of blocky looking. It was quite simple. I knew that even at the time, but there was just something entertaining about it. It was simplistic. Uh, Yeah, we'll just go for beginner. What happened there? Right, it's just reset. I wonder if it's a different joystick. Let me put a different joystick in. It got 9% in Zap. See, I was playing it long before Zap ever looked at it. Right, for whatever reason. Ah, you know what it is? It's because I've got the joystick set up. I'm going to do that as one. Right, try again. Yeah, it's looking at it now, it's a bit of a shit fest. But back in 1983, when I had very little software to play, it passed the time. There we go. Yeah, the idea of this game is just basically to shoot stuff. There we go. Now it actually shows you it's got enemy to the right, tells you where it is. Enemy to the right. Where is he? There he is. Is that the Starship Enterprise? And that is about the game. There is, yeah, exactly, Madcom. This came out 2 years before Zap. I mean, I wouldn't rate this game at all in 1985, but when you had very little software to play, things like this were all right. And that is it. That is quite literally the game, folks. So listen, I'm going to. That's enough of that. So listen, I hope you enjoyed this video tonight. It's me just revisiting the earliest games that I played when I first got my Commodore 64. Most of them were pirate games, I have to say. The first two that I played, Crazy Kong and Frogger 64, I did buy them. And it's interesting when you look at these games. I'm just looking at the list there. Yeah, most of them haven't aged at all well. There's probably a couple of games in there I'd still play. International Soccer, I think, is still a good game. Falcon Patrol, absolutely. Gridder's good. Galaxy's great. Polymos hates it. I don't know why. And Olympic Skier, and obviously Wizard of War, and Jumping Jack as well. These are all games that are still worthy of your time. So listen, I'm going to get going. Hopefully you've enjoyed the stream. I think it's been a bit, apart from me forgetting to turn the screen on. Hopefully it's been a bit slicker because I've managed to get all the scenes and what have you set up in this, which is going to make it, better. Hopefully, give a slightly more professional video. So, listen, guys, I hope you all have a nice Sunday night. Stay safe, have a decent week. I will be back next week for some more games and what have you. So, yeah, I'm going to just do my little outro thing. So, till next time, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching.